Hi, viewers and listeners. Welcome to Fix the World with me, Katie Tracy, and the beautiful Sam Avery. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I don't know why I went sort of like mid-Atlantic then.
Hi there.
Hi there.
You've got to
Welcome
mix
to
it
our
up.
pod.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. We're here to talk to you about problems.
Yes, we're here to fix your problems.
Every week we try and fix a different problem, don't we?
We do. Or it might not even be a problem. It might just be something that needs to be might be already good, but it needs to be enhanced.
Enhance the world.
Enhance the world is not as catchy though.
It's not. An extra syllable and also a shitter word. But that's what we're trying to do. Just trying to make the world a brighter place for people. I don't know if we're succeeding.
I think we are.
We have some
nice comments from some of our lovely listeners.
We've had some nice messages from people saying when they're listening and stuff like that. I don't think we've actually succeeded in actually making the world, like, fixing stuff.
I know we've made a few people lol on the bus.
Well, that's all. I mean, what else do you want from me?
So important to make someone happy.
It is. I'm wearing the same coloured... Well, for a start, I'm wearing the same coloured jumper that I was wearing last week because we do film these...
Yeah.
In batches of 2. Just a little peek behind the curtain for everyone.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, but just, it's not always glamour. Sometimes there's some realism.
Well, you got to be real.
Should we? Hey, should me and Sam coordinate every week?
Should we? Should we get, like, uniforms?
Yeah.
I don't mean in a kinky way.
Like a jaunty neck scarf.
Yes. A beret.
And a corporate jacket. Maybe with gold buttons and some piping.
Jodhpurs.
Oh God, this gets better.
And roller boots.
And a basque. I've got roller boots in the boot of my car.
Because then, have you?
Yeah.
Just a quick getaway.
No, I've got roller boots because I wanted to have roller boots again. So my friends got me some for my birthday.
Nice.
We clubbed together and got me some. I think I've been on them about 3 times. Because it's not as easy as it was when I was 15.
It's harder, innit? When you're older and less coordinated.
Mick went to put some shopping in the boot in my car the other day, and he looked and went, "This isn't right." There was me roller boots, a pair of boxing gloves, and a filled up wheelchair. Because I like to wear. I try to work out all eventualities.
Well, you never know what's going to happen.
I have to prepare.
There's a traffic warden coming quick. Got to
prepare
get away.
To fail to prepare.
Exactly.
Wrong way round.
If we get a uniform, especially if we do it exactly like that, when we do the live shows eventually, everyone can come dressed the same and we'll look like a cult.
Like them cricket fans who all go in fancy dress and en masse.
Oh,
I love them.
That. That's the only place I love fancy dress, really. Love it because people go for it.
I love fancy dress and I don't get invited to any fancy dress. And if anyone wants to invite me to a fancy dress, please invite me to one.
FixTheWorld999@gmail.com.
Fix Kate's life. More like Fix Kate's ambition to be at fancy dress parties regular.
Oh, it'd be good
on
if
the
like
reg.
Every day. Or one day every week was fancy dress. Like Thursdays.
You'd soon tire of that, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Depends if you mix it up. Have themes.
Yeah. I'd be in way people. If you come as a middle-aged slag again. Oh,
oh no, it's Wednesday. It's not even
fancy dress day. It's just my outfit, Bob.
Middle-aged slag day sounds good as well.
I have that every day.
I'll be into that.
That's my 24/7.
You know what I used to love? When I was younger, like in my 20s, like early 20s, used to go out a lot. And I'd meet people who were like in the 40s, people I used to work with as well in the 40s, who were at a point in their life where the kids had moved out.
You're having the second childhood.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, well, like you. But I used to be quite, even though I was in my 20s.
Second childhood is boss, by the way. If there's one upside of being a gym slip mum, it's the fact that I'm still young enough to enjoy my second childhood.
I just think that looks great because I'm at a point in my life now, in my early 40s. I've got young kids. Don't go out much.
You'd be too old by the time they grow up. You'd be too old to go and have a laugh.
I'll be in my 60s. I'll be mecha bingo in it.
Yeah.
But then, even in my 20s, I used to look at those people and think...
We do, but you Sudoku and all that.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm an expert on Japanese words, apparently. So Sudoku sounds about right. So, but anyway, the reason I'm wearing this grey jumper is because I got a brand new little tracky top for Christmas. Little Ben Sherman one off Rachel. Love it. Put it on. I was thinking, I'll wear that for the podcast tonight. And as I'm eating me dinner, it was an edit to eat me dinner wearing what I wanted to wear here. because I'd finished my dinner, no spillages, hasn't put my plate down and knocked the elbow onto the knife, and it just like sort of seesawed its way onto me top, and I just had shite all over me.
Oh, don't you hate it when that happens?
Disappointing.
I always do that. If I buy like an item of clothing that I really, really like, you can guarantee I will fuck it up in some way. I got a pair of these beige ankle boots, suede ones, really loved them. The very first time I wore them, I managed to draw on them in biro. How does that even happen?
Oh.
I had my legs crossed and I was writing a birthday card out, and I got a little tiny bit of biro on them.
Oh, Christ.
How does that? I just don't understand.
You can't take them back to the shop.
No.
Do you know what I've discovered recently? Online shopping. Like, I didn't realise how easy it is to send stuff back. Like,
Sam, have you just been beamed down to earth?
There's this thing called the internet.
Wow.
You order stuff, but I was always scared about ordering stuff because I thought it's a faff to send it back. But it's not.
Not really.
It's quite easy, isn't
it?
Yeah. Drop it at all these shops.
Just the hard thing about online shopping is that you'll see something on a model, on a page, and go, I'm going to get that. It's going to look exactly the same as on me. And then you get it and you go, no, because I'm not 9 foot tall and I have a 14-inch waist. Those days are gone.
Those days
were never there.
That ship has sailed. That ship never came into this dock.
That ship never docked.
That ship sank.
So have you been alright anyway since last we recorded?
Yeah, I've been actually great.
Sam had to get up and stretch his legs because he was all like folded up like a little concertina.
If I sit down for too long now, I can't move when I get up. I think that's a problem. I don't know if I've got what's the thing where you order down the side goes weird. Not a stroke. Sciatica. I might have sciatica. I've self-diagnosed. Because I've just...
God, you're all over the internet then, aren't you? Jesus Christ. Online shopping. Terminal illnesses.
Me hip, me knee, me leg,
head, shoulders, knees and toes.
And eyes,
my neck,
and ears,
my
and
back,
mouth,
my
and
pussy
nose.
and my crack.
That was the next verse, was it?
It's the next verse.
Back,
Love and
neck, and
me.
pussy and crack. Pussy and crack. That song came out about 20 years ago. That Lick My Neck.
Never.
It's
the
so
first
old.
time I heard it was about 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is obscene.
This is absolutely foul.
And then I played it about 17 times on the box.
Yeah. But I feel alive.
Yeah.
I need to start doing yoga because I know it's good. I've done it like a few times and I've always felt good, like physically, mentally. I felt like relaxed, but I just can't be arsed. It just seems boring to me.
I've done yoga and I did enjoy it. But if you're going to do yoga, it's not worth doing it just once a week.
No, you've got to do it regularly.
You've got to do it more than that because you're not getting the benefits otherwise. Says me, the resident yogi of Fix the World. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Sam. Namaste, guys.
Namaste, motherfuckers. Yeah, it'd be good to do angry yoga where you just, instead of being calm and you're just really stressed out. Because I always admire yoga teachers clearly are surrounded by yoga and have to practice what they preach. And they've got such a calm aura and they're just so chilled because you will be.
I used to work with a yoga teacher and she was such a chilled person.
It's got to be good for you, that.
Well, I don't think it is good for you. Where is she? She mustn't be internalising anger somewhere.
Some people don't.
Surely she must be in a yoga class and there's probably some woman or fella who just is not getting it. And she's all like that and breathe. And then inside she's going, oh, I wish you were in my class. You're absolutely shit at this. You've got no coordination. Like, where is that anger going? You've got to let your anger out. Do you know where I let my anger out?
Where?
In the car.
The car's great for anger. A lot of emotions in the car. Because you're in a little box, a little metal box. You've got
protected. It's like being a keyboard warrior on the internet.
Yeah, it's not real.
People can see your face.
Not real emotions.
If you're wondering why my face is going funny, it's because I'm going to sneeze.
I'm not having a stroke. Yeah, those right, sometimes guys. You can turn them into a yawn, can't you?
Yeah.
Or
if you want to give to the GoFundMe page,
please do. Please give generously. Thanks. It's been a tough year.
Yeah, I let my anger out in the car. I call everybody all kinds in the car, and I'm even worse as a passenger.
Yeah.
But once it's out there, I feel zen. I feel cleansed.
I go through phases. I'm trying to, at the moment, when someone pisses me off in the car, remember that it's their problem, not mine.
And do you turn the other cheek?
No, I follow them home.
And then I egg them.
Follow them home and then nick one of the bins.
Yeah, I make a note to go there on mischief night. Throw flour all over the front window.
Hard-boiled eggs at the window. Yeah, you remember that? You cut me off 6 months ago, you prick. But, yes, that's why I'm wearing this. But I've got a hole in this top anyway, so I need to resort. I saw my wardrobe out. It's a mess. I've got loads of stuff that doesn't fit.
Maybe that can be we can write that off as a tax.
I think whatever we wear on this podcast, we can write off in our tax return, surely. So
what tax return?
Next week, I'm going to be wearing like a mink.
We don't get paid for this
Coat. We don't get paid for this, no.
No,
yeah. Keep it stum.
Keep it on the low key.
Oh, yeah. This is all just through the goodness of our heart.
Yeah.
But
do it because we're an attention-seeking pair of whores.
But yes. Which was also a name for the podcast that we considered.
Yeah.
But apparently it'd been taken already.
Probably.
So what are we fixing?
We are fixing pubs, guys.
Pubs this week.
Public houses.
Yeah.
The locals.
The boozer.
The boozer.
What's another name for pub?
The ale house.
The ale house.
I like that one.
I like that one. That always makes you think of like a rough ass pub. The ale house.
It's an old-fashioned word, isn't it? Dates back hundreds and hundreds of years.
You've come out the mine. Get down the ale house.
That's like what Ken Barlow asks for in the Rovers. He never goes, half a pint of Foster's, please, there, bet. He comes in and he goes, half a beer, please, or half an ale. Doesn't like, he's never specific. Probably because of product placement.
Yeah.
Can't go in and go, bottle of Corona, no lime. Wouldn't you love Ken Barlow to say that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, love, you got any of them Jaegers?
Yeah.
Can
and a packet of nuts, take it off the right tit, please.
Can I also have half a pint of nondescript, non-brand ale, please?
I feel like they were the slop tray. Okay, Ken.
Yeah, have some of this.
Yeah.
Is Ken still with us?
Yeah. Ken Barlow patronising every other member of the street for the last 700 years because he went to university and no one else did.
Yeah. Is he still around?
Still in it.
He's still in it?
Imagine, right, because he's in his 80s, you know.
He's dead old.
But he's got a really great head of hair, unless it's a wig, which it could be. But I always wonder, I look at his little face and I go, imagine what he looked like with no hair. He would look his age then.
That's why I fear for myself, really, going forward. Although at least I've gone bald, not young, but early. Some people go bald in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah, but no, if you go bald young, then you never really age.
Because you've always looked old.
No, because people age from the hair, don't they? Like, Mick's got virtually white hair, but his face is not. If he was bald, I don't know.
He's got a young face, Mick.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, no, I think when you go bald young, because most people go bald when they're old, you've already achieved that.
Smashed it, yeah.
Smashed
and
that.
now I've got the pains in the leg. I'm actually...
Now you've got the sciatica.
Thinking about pissing myself in a minute and really just getting it over with.
Tune in next week. Sam's going to do a live prostate exam.
Do not rule that out.
Yeah, when we start trying stuff for our Patreons, which is coming soon, folks.
Yeah, you'll
be dying.
You'll be shocked.
Pay into that kind of business.
I mean, I'd pay a quid to watch someone finger their own ass. Is that how it works? I don't know how it works.
This is why
Surely
we're not
a doctor
qualified.
has to do it.
I don't think that it's that simple.
Actually, now we're on the subject of it, because I know that's an important subject. What age does a man supposed to start getting prostate exams? I might be at that age. I might need to do it.
Do you have to go for them on the reg?
I don't know.
It's not like a smear test or nothing like that. I don't think they go, oh, well, you've turned
I don't know.
50. You've got to come and let us inspect you. I don't think that happens for men. I think it's only you'll notice it's something that you get done because you're experiencing symptoms.
Okay. I'll Google it.
Google it.
That'll sort me out.
Another little go on the internet for you there, Sam.
Are you bald? Do you have a pain in your hip? You might need a finger up your bum. Click here. So, what kind of a pub is your favourite kind of pub?
Little old man boozer.
Love old man boozers. In fact, I don't call them that anymore. I just call them pubs.
Yeah.
Because I'm now at that age.
I like pubs with jukeboxes.
Oh. They don't have enough of them anymore. Jukeboxes gives you that sense of control over the situation and like the vibe.
You know what? It's a good way of being there and just judging other people from the music that they put on.
Yeah.
And you go, well, you'll sit there and watch someone on the jukebox, and then next minute, Ed Sheeran will come on and you go, oh, I always knew he was a prick, that fella on the jukebox.
There's a pub in town called Ye Crack, which is great pub,
named
innit?
after me. Hi.
Picture of Kate up by the bar, behind the nuts. And there's a jukebox in there.
Seen the film, you bought the t-shirt, now go to the bar.
Now go to the pub. great to have a pub like themed after you. But the jukebox in there is great. But I had an argument with someone in there. It was about 20 years ago. I think it was a pint of Guinness. They poured me a pint of Guinness, and it wasn't very good. And I said, "This is a terrible pint of Guinness," and they wouldn't give me another pint of Guinness. So me and my mate put about 12 quid in the jukebox and put the same song on like a million times, and then just left.
I remember being in the Farmer's Arms in Tower Hill in Kirby when I was about 18, and someone put Nothing Compares to You on by Sinead O'Connor. They must have spent about £5 putting it on. Oh my God.
I mean, I love that song, but once is enough.
And the pub was renowned for shootings, and no wonder. I mean, I understand it. I think the first one happened that night. Everyone shot themselves.
Oh, God. You don't get as many jukeboxes anymore.
I like pub snacks as well.
Yeah. All the crisps and the
Nuts,
pork scratching.
Bacon fries, scampi fries.
Cheese moments. Not fun.
We've talked about these, haven't we?
Yeah, I had a bit of an incident with cheese moments in a pub in Wales.
I worked in Jacob's Biscuit Factory for a little short time, and they made cheese moments or cheeselets there, and the place stank.
Oh, bet.
Oh, like a farmyard.
Oh, God.
Of the cheesiness.
Oh.
So when someone has cheese moments, and I, as you know, as all our regular listeners, viewers know, we both love cheese.
And you're a smell
but
person.
The stank of cheese moment interior. Please no. Please.
I used to go out with a girl whose friend worked in the chippy, and she used to come out with us. It was,
Did she smell like the chippy?
She smelled like fish, yeah. Because you would do after a 8-hour shift over the batter, but she couldn't get the smell out sometimes.
Sometimes I'd go, "Oh, you smell like chippy, get here.
Do you mind if I can just sink my teeth into your shoulder?" Ooh.
Have you ever worked in a pub?
I worked in a bar for 3 hours in the Revolution Bar on Wood Street in Liverpool. I'd finished university. I got a terrible job. I just started stand-up, done about 4 gigs. Things weren't going well. I had no money. Got a job in this bar. Lied on my CV. Said that I'd worked in a bar in Australia, thinking this is like 2003, 2004, so the internet was kind of new. So I thought, they can't check. I'll just say Australia. So they gave me, I said I had all this experience, so they gave me this job making cocktails.
Oh no, like baptism of fire.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a fucking clue. Couldn't even pull a pint. Never worked in a bar before. So they said, we'll give you some training. So I thought that'd be all right. When I got there, it was dead busy. So they just said, oh no, we'll train you like next week or something. Just start. I was like, all right. So I spent 3 hours, and I must have made 4 cocktails in 3 hours, and the customers were fucking fuming. I didn't know what I was doing. I was looking at this booklet, and it was saying, right, what's a Harvey Wallbanger? Was like, right, so put a bit of this in. Where's that? Don't know. Put a bit of that in. Where's that? Don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, they set you up for the fall.
Yeah.
They set you up. They should have just put you on lager.
They should have just put me on mopping up vomit.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. I don't know how to do that.
I was lucky when I worked behind the bar. There was nobody sold cocktails in them.
No.
The closest you got to a cocktail in the pub I worked in was like a pint of 50. Which is half a mild and half a Guinness.
Which is an odd mix.
I mean, old men.
You know what they like?
Yeah.
I do like a pub though where you go in and there's just a certain vibe, like a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
Low music, not too loud. People sitting on their own. I like that in a pub.
In our local, there was a man who used to sit on his own all the time, and he was dead nice, and his name was Vinny. He's passed away now. But he'd come in with the Echo, and he'd get a pint of Guinness, and he'd sit there and read like some of the Echo, and then he'd go and get another pint of Guinness, and then he'd pick his paper up and he'd move to another table, and then he'd read some more of the Echo, and he'd finish his pint, and then he'd go and get another pint, and then he'd move to a different and we used to call him the chess piece.
That's great, isn't it? I love that.
But nicknames in the pubs were always good. In the pub I used to run, tea time was like the best time, because all like the funny fellas would come in. There'd be like old fellas who were retired. So I used to work in the afternoons, and we'd do, so they'd have like all the celebrities' birthdays in like the paper, and one of the old men would go, right, Richard Maisley, guess how old? And like we'd all guess, and there'd be like murder, absolute murder. And we used to just do the quiz and the Echo and stuff, and it was just a laugh. And then there was like the fellas who worked who come in, and so there was a man called Frank the Antique. He was called that because he did house clearances. There was one called Pat the Post, because he worked for the post office. In my local, there's one called Mick the Taxi. Well, he's passed away now, sadly. God,
Mick
like Dad's army. But he only was a taxi driver for about a year. There was one called Tony Muscles. This poor man was called Tony Muscles because one day on a hot day, he had the audacity to come in the pub in a sleeveless t-shirt. And then that was his nickname henceforth. But in the Leo, there was a fella who used to come in and his nickname was just Shite.
Shite? That was his nickname? Why?
Because he worked in a garage and he used to come in like smeared in like engine oil from like top to toe.
Shite.
And I'd be like, it's not like I work in an office. I don't come in covered in paper clips. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on.
But that was his nickname, Shite.
Shite. Is Shite being in tonight?
Yeah. What's the worst nickname you've ever heard anyone be called?
18 months. Because there was this fella who he'd had half his ear bitten off in a fight. So his mates called him 18 months because he had an ear and a half. Which is just, it's boss that, isn't it?
I used to work with a lad and guess what his nickname was?
What?
The Gland.
Why? The Gland?
He was just like a little creepy bastard.
Oh.
The Gland.
It's not a great word, is it?
No, and he had a corduroy duffel coat. And everyone would go, where's the gland? And we'd just be like, it's horrible.
Oh, the glands. I used to work with a fella and we used to call him the Python, which sounds quite, the Python. But it was because he used to stick his tongue out a lot. So we used to call him the Python because just now and again he'd just go like that. The Python. I used to go to a pub in London. I say used to. I went there about 5 times.
Did you live in London?
No, but I used to do gigs down there quite a lot. Just going back about 10 years. My brother lived in Muswell Hill, which is in North London. So we used to they talk about London like it's capital city. Like, you can do anything. But a lot of places shut at 11. So the gig would finish at like 11:15. And that's when I wanted to start my night. So all my mates,
Yeah, if you want to stay out in London, you have to be in like Soho or something like that, don't you?
So we'd have like 4 or 5 of my mates would come. My brother would come. We'd all be in London. Let's make a night of it. I'm down there for the weekend. And we're like, nowhere to go. And then we found this pub near Highgate. It was just like a pub, but it did lock-ins. Proper lock-ins. It'd be open till like 5 a.m. And you could do whatever you wanted in there. Like people were smoking indoors. This is well after the smoking ban. Just loads of booze. Then they'd make toast for everyone. Be handing out toast to everyone. It was dead friendly as well. It wasn't like a dodgy. It was just dead nice. Perfect way to end the night.
Love
it was
that.
Jukebox. It was absolutely wonderful. Some of the best nights I've ever had were in that pub.
My brother used to have a season ticket for Everton. He gave it up a couple of years ago. He was just like, you moved to Manchester and give it up. And when he was in uni, he had this mate who he lived with. He was from Norway, called Rasmus. And Rasmus was like, so you're going to football, Harry? And all this. And he's like, yeah. So we went, anyway, Harry's other mate who normally went to match wasn't going. So Harry gave the ticket to Rasmus and Rasmus went. But they went to this pub in Kirkdale called the Peacock, where they go, he always goes there before the Everton game. So he took Rasmus in. Rasmus from Norway, it's in a proper old man's pub. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool in here, Harry, and all this. And there's next month, the fella come around selling the Spot the Ball, which if you don't know what the Spot the Ball is, it's like a raffle ticket with like numbers 1 to 30, and you put your initials in the square or put a pound in the glass. And then when you open up the piece of paper, which is weirdly sewn together, the number in the middle wins what's in the glass, apart from like 10 quid, which would go to the darts team, for instance.
Yeah.
So the fella come around selling the Spot the Ball and was like going to Rasmus like, what's this, Harry? And Harry explained it to him. He's like, I'll have a go. Had a go. Went the match. Absolutely loved it. Next week or the next match, home match, Rasmus was like, I bought an off-season ticket for Everton. I'm going to start going the match. So Harry was like, that sounds he went, I'll meet you in the Peacock on Saturday. So Harry walked in the Peacock, and Rasmus, who's only been in there once before in his life, this is the beauty of little locals, he's there with the pint glass going around selling the Spot the Ball.
Isn't that so...
How amazing is that?
So he's Norwegian, he's been in a match once, and the following game he's selling Spot the Ball in the local pub. That's so good, isn't it?
It's cool, isn't it?
That is totally like, you can see why people get, what do they call it? It's not groomed, is it? When people sign up for like ISIS and stuff.
Yeah.
You can totally see where that happens, because all people need to do is make somewhere look attractive.
Yeah.
And that's like, he's gone there and gone, this is for me.
This is what me. Everyone sounds. People are normal.
Yeah. It's brilliant, that, isn't it?
But I used to run a pub. I've talked about that before.
How long did you run the pub for?
I ran it with Sam's dad, so it was probably for about 3 years.
And did you?
We were really young.
Did you want to do it, or did it?
When I met him, I was in uni and I was a barmaid there, and his brother had the pub, and then he started coming in, and we got together, and then his brother and his brother's wife gave up the pub and said to him, do you want to take the pub over? And I dropped out of uni by then because I hated uni. That's another story. Not really a story, I just hated it. Students did me as in. So we both just went, oh, all right, we'll do it. And then we moved in. But like, I think I was I was 20 and he was 26, which is really young
for a pub, isn't it?
To run a pub, especially a big pub right by Walton Prison.
Yeah.
And it was like, some days it'd just be moody as fuck.
I bet.
Like one time, like we opened right at like 12 and we were just like getting the pub ready. Next minute, this fella come in and went half a lager and then went to the toilet. So there was always a thing, you know, when you saw like a normal grown man, if they come in the pub and ask for half a lager, I always assume they're not going to be drinking, they're going to be doing something else. Always.
Right.
So just because people who were like doing coke in the bogs are not big drinkers really. They don't drink a lot. So this fella went half a lager at like 12:05 and I was like, okay. And he went to the toilet and then the next minute, about 25 policemen in like proper like helmets and like shit, everything, all just came in and this fella legged it out the other door and they were like, where's he gone? We were like, you came in or was it half a lager and went to the toilet? And they were like, and then they went in the toilet and they lifted up the cistern and the fella had left like a big bag of coke.
Oh God.
Inside the cistern for someone to pick up.
Jesus.
How mad is that?
And that's your pub.
You know, I wish we found it because I sold it.
You could have been a fence.
I know.
Isn't that what they're called? I'm trying to sound
fence,
street.
yeah.
A fence.
This is not related to, well, so speaking of a fence, right? My mum went out with this fella for years when I was a kid. He was lovely. He's dead now. Keep saying that over there. This is like an episode of Dad's Army. But he was what you would call a lovable rogue.
Yeah.
He was a great fella, but he was always like into like mad shit, right? So anyway, I was talking to my mum about this the other day. So he was that kind of fella, right? One time I was in my mum's and they had this big stone fireplace and he got this box down. I went, yeah, Kate, do you want one of these? And I thought it was a box of chocolates. And I opened it and it was a tray of rings, like out of the jeweller's window. Jesus. And I was like, you want to see I'll pick one? And I was like, well, I thought I was just looking for the strawberry cream there, but yeah, thanks. So anyway, another time my mum got this phone call in work and from the police. They went like, I was Walton Lane police station here. Where's John? And she was like, I was at work. And they went, well, we've got a warrant to come and search your house. It would be, what time do you get home? And then she was like, oh, brother. So she says, I got home. She went, my nerves went. She went, because we got these two knockoff tellies, big American tellies. Before flat screens were out, she had these. And she said one was in ours in the cellar and one was in his mate up the road. So the police were coming to ours. So she went, John was like working. So her phoned his mate and went to him and said, hey, come and help me get this telly out the cellar. So they got the telly out the cellar and then they had to pass it in the neighbour's house before the police got there. So then the police knocked. My mum, having never spoken to a police officer before this point in her life, they knocked at the door and they went, we're here to search the property. And my mum went, yeah, they said you were coming. She went, have you got a warrant? And she went, I was like, I've watched too many films. And they like showed the warrant and that. And then they started to like look round and she said, and then I realised that the remote control for this knockoff telly was in the drawer. She went, so I was in the kitchen and I just opened the drawer and put it in my coat pocket.
Oh, that's quite gangster.
And I was like, my God. And she said they were looking round and it turns out that it wasn't John they were looking for in the first place.
Oh, but that's quite cool because it's kind of exciting, but it's not really a crime. Is it?
Like, but my mum, if you met her, you wouldn't think she'd go, have you got a warrant? And I was like, oh my God.
You've got a concealed remote control there on your person. But that's the thing that happens quite a lot in Liverpool pubs. Maybe this is a question for the audience.
Yeah.
If you don't live in Liverpool, because I know a lot of people who listen and watch don't, are pubs like that near yours where you will get people, sometimes the same people, coming around selling knockoff gear, like stolen gear. That's a big thing.
We get that in our local, not all, not very few and far between now, but like these people coming in going, one time we were in the pub and there's this fella in the bar and this lad come in and he just had this big massive stack of pillows and he goes, anyone want to buy any pillows? It's 2 for $5. This fella went to your lads, gives a pair, and he got them. They were still in like the cellophane and he went like that move and he got on like the couch, you know, the couch
did
bit
he try it out?
And he went, nah, it's too soft for me, that
too soft for me. I had the guy come in. It was one in town somewhere. Some guy comes in. He goes, hey, do you want to make some batteries or cheese? Like, what a combo.
Yeah.
He's robbed cheese. Who's buying
Socks and chocolate was another one.
Who's buying cheese off someone?
Anyone want any socks, chocolate, razor blades?
What do you need?
If you're ever short of razor blades, go to the pub on the weekends.
Oh yeah, they're always selling.
Selling them there.
There was a guy selling whiskey bottles the other. When did I go out with my mate? A couple of months ago, and he's coming round, and we're outside, and he's coming up to us, we're right on the edge of the beer garden. He's like leaning over the fence, going, "Do you want to buy a bottle of whiskey?" I mean, I just went, "No, thanks, mate." And he was moving on. My mate was going, "Yeah, let's have a look," and he was looking at it. Still had the tag on the bottle.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh no, I don't want that, mate."
Me and my mum were in one pub once it was like a bank holiday Sunday. It was gorgeous, and there's a big massive play area. So we just went down with the kids, and this fella come round selling like pieces of cheese and coffee and all that. So my mum bought this big massive jar of Nescafe, and then she got it in when it was coffee beans. Do you remember the sweet man?
The sweet man, yeah.
He used to come round of a weekend, unless it used to be Sunday night, and he'd come round. It was a dead like good sweets.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like my mate's fella, dodgy as fuck, went up to him and say, "Lads," and he went, "What?" He went, "Do you want to buy 20,000 Kit Kats?"
Is that all in one thing? You know, you get the four fingers. Is that all in one Kit Kat?
I didn't know he had 20,000 Kit Kats. That's boss.
Jesus Christ! Have you seen the weather forecast? They're gonna melt. Get them stored away. There's a guy in Nottingham who goes around all the pubs selling fresh fish.
Oh, they used to have that when I first started going out in Liverpool.
It's good. It was really good. And it's dead nice stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a comedy club there, Just the Tonic. He used to go to there all the
So
time.
is it like stuff you take home and cook, or is it like the old seafood man where it's like cockles, mussels, whelks?
Yeah, just snack. Have a little snack.
What's the name? Crab sticks?
Crab sticks?
Like, yeah.
I don't know if he sells crab sticks. He should do. But yeah, they're like just traditional things.
That's what I like about old fashioned pubs. That kind of like shit.
Yeah, I think you miss some of that stuff, don't you? I suppose you don't realise that stuff's so important to the vibe of a pub, because when you're growing up, you're just there and you're drinking them with your mates. But it's when things start to stop happening, you miss it, don't you?
You miss it.
Everyone's on the phones.
I think like when you're young and you first start going out, and then you go into like the city centre, and then after a while you're like, I don't want to come to the city centre anymore. So you go back to your local.
Yeah.
And that's when you go, why didn't we just come here all the time? It's well better. It's down the road from where we live. Next door to a pizza place.
Exactly. My favourite pub, though, if I had to choose one, is a pub I don't go to anymore, and I haven't gone to for years, but I went to for about a 3-year period every week. Oh, the Swan's good. I went there.
Jukebox is boss in there.
Do you know what? I'll tell you about that in a minute, because I went back there the other week. Now, it's a place called the Post House, which I think upstairs is now like a gay bar.
Yeah, well, it's gay downstairs as well.
It was gay downstairs as well.
I was in there on Sunday, yeah.
So downstairs on a Saturday used to be just old men.
Yeah, I think it's like a mixture, really.
Yeah.
It's generally...
And upstairs was a living room. Basically, it's like someone's living room. But the lights were off. The bar was shut. No one in there. Me and my mates discovered it one night. We were like... We all lived in different parts of the city. So
and my granddad used to go to the Post House and sit downstairs. But like, he'd go meet his brother and he'd have a pint there, and he loved it. But it was always a gay bar upstairs, and now it's just sort of...
We used to go in and just meet.
Trickled through.
And we'd actually go in. You'd have to put the light on yourself. You'd sit there. You buy a drink downstairs, sit upstairs. Just like our own little living room. And they did triple vodkas for £1.50. They didn't mind if you smuggled your own Red Bull in. So we'd have like 4 or 5 of them and just be absolutely off our fucking rockers. And then just hit town. Oh, the laughs we had in there.
Yeah.
If you could bottle them laughs.
Those little pubs are boss. I love them.
But the Swan. Went back to the Swan the other week. It's a biker's bar, innit?
Everyone's dead nice in there.
And it hasn't changed in 20 years. My mate said he still goes there quite regularly. And apparently, now whether he's bullshitting me, but it's a great story. He said he was in there about 10 years ago, and some like painters and decorators were coming in and doing some work, and all the regulars were going, "Hey, you, get out. Don't want you here." And they left. They didn't want it to change at all.
Didn't want it to change. I love it in there.
Same sandwiches were in there that were in there 20 years ago.
Remember that?
Rough.
I found out I was pregnant with Sam in a pub in town.
Oh, did you? Which pub?
In the Hanover. I don't even think it's called the Hanover anymore.
I know where it is, though.
But I was having like morning sick. I felt sick, and I was like, oh. And his dad was working in town, and I went, I was working in town. I went, you have to meet me. So I went, I'm going to have to do a test. And he was like, okay. So I bought one in it's like proper 90s. And I went and bought a pregnancy test in the chemist. And then we went to the Hanover, and I remember he bought a pint and a half lager and a cheese and onion baguette to share. And I went to the toilet and did the pregnancy test. And then I walked through the pub with the pregnancy test in my hand like that. Best thing that ever happened to me, by the way. But it was just like...
Get this woman a drink.
It's like a superhero origin story.
It is. That's where your life changed.
Oh, guess what happened in our pub the other day? Well, the other week. So they have darts in there on a Monday. And Sam's mate plays in the darts team. So Sam just called in and he was like watching for the bit, just for the laugh. And he said, this fella come in and he watched it for a bit and then he went next door to the shop and come back in with a pot noodle and just went up to the barman and went, favour lad, boil a kettle for that.
Taking your own food then?
I would have done that, but the barman told him to fuck off.
You don't need to tell him to fuck. I would admire the cheekiness of someone doing that.
Yeah, well, when we had our
balls.
pub, we're right by Walton's prison. So, like, there'd be, like, girls coming from, like, all over to get the train to Rice Lane, and they'd have babies and prams for visiting day, and I used to take, and they'd be there, and they'd call in the pub and go, oh, can I use your toilet? I'd be like, oh, do you want a cup of tea? And I'd just, like, because I'm nosy, and I'd be like, oh, so what's he in for? Just, like, getting all the goss.
Oh, you want the goss, don't you?
Mm.
Yeah, I can imagine if I worked in a pub, I would be an alcoholic. I think a lot of people do end up just drink. Didn't you drink loads when you worked there?
I drank more after I worked in a pub
than during it.
Yeah. When you run a pub, you've got to like have your wits about you.
Oh yeah, I suppose. But at the end of the day, don't you like finish up and then just have a little drink?
Yeah. Like we used to have stay behinds and the milkman would be outside. It'd be like, it was mad. Or there used to be like a little Indian restaurant over the road. So we'd just get a load of takeout and then I'd go upstairs and get all plates and knives and forks, and like us and the regulars would just sit downstairs in the bar and have like a takeaway together.
Oh, that's nice.
It was cute.
I've always liked the idea of having a pub close to my house that I go to regularly. That makes me feel like I'm in a soap opera.
That's what my
mean?
locals like.
I want my seat. I want them to. I love it when I go into a bar and they know what drink I want. I always feel alive.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I need in my life.
But my locals sound, because like because I like to drink red wine, but they don't really hardly sell it. So when they do have it in, it's generally just like stuff I wouldn't buy, like Echo Falls or something like that. So they'll go, just go to the offie and buy yourself a nice bottle of wine and drink that. Don't mind.
That's cool, isn't it?
I know.
That's good.
Yeah.
How would you fix pubs?
I would ban Weatherspoons.
Yeah. Any chain pub?
Yeah,
Not
chain
a fan
pub.
of.
They've killed like locals, haven't they?
Yeah, because pubs they had different characters, didn't they? Different, like every pub you go in has got a different smell.
Yeah.
They use different toilet cube things. Toilets smell
different.
different.
Do you know them bleach blocks? Apparently some fella told me once that I was on this like merchandising thing with other people who had pubs, and this fella had this pub in like Leeds or somewhere, and he said they had to change the bleach blocks to something else because the smackheads were coming in and they get the bleach block out the toilet, piss on it, and then inhale it because they got like a buzz off it.
Oh my God.
Horrible. Works.
You got any left over? That's a sign your life's
bleach.
not on track, is it?
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
It's piss bleach by
By
Fabergé. By Domestes.
I'd fix the price of wine. What the fuck? Say like the average decent bottle of pub wine at cost is like
what is it?
8 quiz.
Yeah.
In Costco or wherever the wholesalers.
Like 20
but
quid.
then you go in like not my local's pretty decent. But if you go to town and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's £9.50 for a glass of wine. I'm like, oh well, why don't you just like rinse me? Why don't you just rob me bag on my phone? Why don't I give you the keys to my house? Take all my furniture while you're at it. Robbing bastard. It's dear.
It is expensive, isn't it? I don't mind paying £4.50 for a pint, but yeah, nine quid for a glass of wine.
Well, I mean, it's for the best. Maybe it's a deterrent because you shouldn't drink wine in pubs.
No.
Not if you want a decent night out.
I'd rather drink wine at home. And in a pub, I like to drink a nice pint of IPA or lager and maybe have a whiskey. Maybe have a little whiskey. I do, and I do like sitting at the bar now. Yeah. Now I'm at that age.
Oh, you know what else I'd bring back? Like the old school like drinks like Taboo. I'd bring that back. And Castaway. I used to love that.
Yeah, all the Alco Pops.
But like the good Alco Pops, not Blue Wicked. That's shite. Castaway tastes like alcoholic lilt.
Castaway was
great. You can imagine.
Made your piss smell funny.
Oh, it was very nice.
Smackheads loved it. What was the one? Bacardi Breezer. They were all right. Smirnoff Ice I used to like.
Yeah. We used to mix that with half a lager in a pint glass.
Oh, Jesus.
It's called a turbo shandy.
Oh, yeah, remember that? Yeah. Had some really bad experiences.
It takes the sharpness off the lager, but it takes the sweetness off the Smirnoff Ice, kids.
And
I went to a party once where somebody gave me a snake bite with night nurse in it.
Night nurse? I was at a party once and we didn't have any mixer for the vodka, so we just threw like 4 Barocas in it.
Did you?
And just drank the vodka.
I bet you never slept.
My piss was a funny shade that week. Yeah, it wasn't a good day.
One time I made smoothies and put loads of vodka in them. But they were like really healthy smoothies. We were in our house. We ran out of like mixers. So I just had a load of like shite there.
Loads of kale.
Yeah. It's like, what? Why are we just having vodka and cranberry when we can put bananas and apples?
Get you 5 a day with all those shots. The way I would fix pubs, I would have, you know, those old westerns where at the edge of the town, the sheriff would ask for everyone to put the guns in a bucket. I'd have that, but with phones.
Oh, I'd have that, but with knives.
Oh, knives as well.
Say no to knife crime, guys.
Knives is probably a better thing. But phones. Just so you throw your phone in, you live in the moment.
Yeah.
People, because I love in a pub chatting to people I would never speak to normally because I'm in a pub with them. So like I'm chatting to like an old woman in her 70s and we're just having a chat about stuff and we disagree, but we're having a nice conversation because that's what a pub's for. That's what a pub used to be. It was all about like
I'm nosy. I get in on other people's conversations, do you?
That's nice as well. If you just sit in the right place,
yeah,
you can just hear what their life is.
But I would take out hand dryers from toilets.
The new ones are too loud, aren't they? But then the old ones don't feel like
the old one, you may as well just go.
Yeah, it's like a puppy breathing on you.
Yeah, I mean, I love old pubs. I don't love the toilets in old pubs.
Some of them are nice though, like the ornate ones.
Oh yeah, like the Philharmonic.
Oh, like the Philharmonic one, yeah. But you then,
yeah.
So that's a pub in Liverpool.
That means you've got to drink in the Philharmonic to see it.
I know, and you're trying to have a piss, and you've got tourists taking pictures of the urinals next to you.
Yeah, and the tables are sticky.
Yeah, it's not great.
No.
But yeah, the
What would you do to fix pubs?
I just have the honesty, not the honesty box, the phone box.
Oh, the phone box.
I call it the phone box, and you just throw your phone in.
Yeah.
Just crack on. And then I like it when they give out free samples of drinks as well. I'd have more of that. Maybe it's not good business.
Like
model.
Costco, but in a pub.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? We've just got this lovely bottle of rum, guys. In a little test.
Try some of this.
Yeah.
I like it when they bring out food as well. Snacks.
We used to do that.
Snacks.
In our pub, we used to do, so we do roasties and that on a Sunday. But you could tell, there's always like a couple of them who'd get like a piece of kitchen roll. And then you just see them like that with the roasties. And you're like, they're fucking taking them home to put on the dinner.
Oh, God.
We do roasties, black pudding, raw.
Oh.
Who eats that?
Raw?
Ew. And then we do roast hearts on a Thursday with crusty cobs.
I've never had a roast heart. Sounds horrible.
Just tastes like lamb's heart. It just tastes like lamb. It's weird.
Oh.
But people like people who go in pubs like that are brought up on that kind of food. So I remember the first time I did it and I went to the butcher's and I got a load of heart and I didn't know what I was supposed to do with them. So I had to phone me nan. She just said, just throw them all in the oven. And then I just sliced them all up hot with crusty cobs and all the fellas are like made up. We used to do like loads of free stuff.
Yeah.
They do that in my local though. They have bingo on a Sunday afternoon. It's boss. Bingo and karaoke from 4 till 9. So like by 9 o'clock, you should be home anyway on a Sunday. But it's not. It doesn't feel like 9 o'clock. It feels like about 2:30 in the morning because once the karaoke's finished, we're just there putting all the bangers on because we're blathered. But like Dawn, our landlady, she does like trays of like cheese and crackers and pickles and that's boss.
Because it keeps people drinking more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're snacking. I've always thought I'd love to, like, if you were going to design your perfect pub, like, and money was no object, talk me through it. What would you put in? What would the decor look like?
It would just be like plain, but not dead old fashioned. Some people veer towards like weird paintings of like, you know, an original photograph of Elvis or, you know, that kind of thing.
No, you want the dogs playing snooker, don't you?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a perfect pub as a state of mind rather than what it looks like.
That's true. One of my favourite pubs is the Mount Vernon.
Oh yeah, with the sloped floor.
With the sloped floor. And it's just got a big long bar. I like pubs with a big long bar.
It's a good atmosphere there though.
Yeah, it's because everyone's wonky. Everyone's kind of like trying to stay upright.
Oh, you know what else the old landlady in the pub used to do? On match days, she used to do a load of bread and butter and then she'd just go to Chippy and buy loads and loads and loads of portions of chips, and then put it out so people could make chip butties while they watched the football.
That's nice.
That's the kind of pub I would run.
Yeah. Just like where you're feeding everyone. How old were you when you first went to a pub?
Oh, like 14.
And did you get in no
Well,
problem?
my uncle ran a pub, so I went into one as a kid, but like as a punter, probably about 14, and we used to go to the Copple House in Fazachley by my mum's, and the worst part about it was like some of the teachers from our school used to drink in there. So we'd all be like dilly-dollied up thinking that we looked 18 and we didn't, but they still save us. We didn't like have a couple of hours of lager or cider and black, and then we'd be like that, you see, and they'd be like, don't speak to us.
Do not approach
like,
me.
All right, well, buy us half a lager and maybe I'm talk to you again. And they would.
Oh, would they?
Yeah. It was the 90s. No one cared.
No one cared as much. Did they? I was like the tallest one, so I was always put the front of the queue.
Yeah.
And trying to
Did you used to get sent the offie?
I got sent the offie.
I did because I was the tallest.
And I tried to get some girl in school who everyone fancied asked me to go to the offie, and I didn't want to go, but I thought, I'll go because I fancy it. Because that's what you do when you're a lad, when you're 14. And I went into this offie, and I picked up 4 cans of Stella, I think it was. I went to the front, and the woman said, have you got any ID? I was like, oh no, she said, how old are you? And I went, 18. Like, with this like voice that was going up and down. She was like, have you got any ID? I was like, no. And I think I started saying, no, I've left it with me mortgage documents or something. I made some kind of bullshit thing about me kids and my wife and all that. And I was clearly just a kid with one of those really
I'll
bad...
just phone the babysitter and see if she can pass it to me.
I've opened my ISA today, so I'm a bit unsure about where my ID is. But I was put at the front of the queue. It was harder for lads to get into pubs because you couldn't doll yourself up. You just had to put
girls could put makeup on and dress older, but lads couldn't. If you were a 16-year-old lad, you just looked like a 16-year-old lad.
Put a shirt on.
That's why the lads used to always send the girls in.
Yeah, it was easier to just look older.
Well, what person goes in the off license age 14 and buys Stella? You fucking gangster.
Oh, I know. Well, I didn't get saved, but I was shaking.
You go in and buy 4 cans of Kestrel, not Stella.
And I was like, go hard or go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna have these and I'm gonna have a fight, lad.
I'm really. I should have picked up like a bottle of Chateau Neuf de Pape or something.
Oh yeah.
And asked her, excuse me, what year is this from? Because
I thought you like, he can't be younger than 18 if he's asking about the vintage.
I need to. What year is this from? She says 2010. That was the year I was born.
My auntie used to take me to actual nightclubs though when I was like 14.
Did she? That's proper like. That's a baptism as well.
Yeah, when I say proper, like I don't mean like it wasn't like London. It wasn't like Stringfellows. It was like the Walton Hospital Nurses Club and like the Grafton, and it was just
bedlam.
Awful.
Absolute bedlam.
I remember going in all dressed up. I hadn't spoken to a grown man other than my family before. This fella come up and go, "Hey girl, have you seen me top? I had to sew that tonight." I was like, "Oh, did you?" And the next minute, he whipped his top off. They still had the big light on. Whipped his top off and started showing me where it was sewed, and I was like, "That."
Oh my god!
Why is this man exposing his body to
That's a really weird thing to do, isn't it? Look at this. Look at my torso.
Yeah, to fix pubs, I'd get rid of chain pubs.
Yeah,
chain. Do you know them like kind of like Brewers Fair kinds of places as well?
Oh, they're horrible.
The ones that smell like chip fat when you walk in.
Oh, they're horrible. Yeah.
I like little fancy bistros, little fancy wine bars. I like that. I like the fancy side, but like the small ones.
Yeah. Independently run.
Yeah.
And I am at that age now where I like a pub that brews their own ale and they have all these fancy names for ale. I'm just a bit of a punt like that, yeah. Like trying, I'll have some of that cheap bollocks, please.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Have you got anything that'll make me do a really smelly shit in the morning?
Yeah. I've had an argument with my wife and I really want to
piss it off.
Passive aggressive without her knowing I'm doing it. So what is going to make me splatter and stink?
Yuck.
6 pints of that, please. And are those pickled eggs out of date? Great. Send them over here.
7 of those.
I'll drink the water that they've been pickling in as well. So, okay, well, I think we've fixed pubs.
I think we have fixed pubs.
Definitely
I think we should open a Fix the World pub.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
We need to do a Fix the World pub night.
Pub night. Pub night sounds so
that was our pub crawl. We do the pub crawl.
We'll do the pub crawl, yeah.
That'd be good.
I do like a pub crawl. At a pub crawl, you do get like a flavour of all the different pubs. So yeah, we'll do that one day. And if you've got any thoughts or feelings or...
feelings?
If you've been affected by the issues discussed today, you can contact us.
Call the helpline.
call the helpline that's coming up on the bottom of the screen right now, which is fixtheworld999@gmail.com. It's an email address. Drop us an email. Follow us on social media. We're on.
Please follow us.
We're on everything. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
We need all your likes.
YouTube.
Are we on TikTok?
We're on TikTok.
We're not.
We are.
First David.
We're not on. Kate's very active on social media.
I am all over social media.
Is like
I'm there buying hair products that I didn't think I needed.
Tom from MySpace and Kate from everything. We're not on LinkedIn and we're not on Snapchat. And if any new social media platforms come out, we are not joining them because it's too much of a head wreck.
There's too many.
It's too much to do. So
I can't keep up.
No, it's too much. Keep things simple and just follow us on the 6
on
platforms that I mentioned. Or drop us an email.
Yeah.
Or send us a letter on a quill.
Answers on a postcard, please.
Please.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, folks. See you next week.
Bye.